Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today we're going to talk about the prong collar a little bit. Now, first things first, the type of prong collar matters, right? So if you're going to consider getting a prong collar, you're going to definitely want to consider getting the HERM SPRENGER. I'll link it in the description below. Definitely don't want to go with like the cheaper options, which you can get at like Petco and PetSmart and all these bubblegum places. But yeah, so the type, the brand actually matters. It'll say SPRENGER on this little center divider here. But in this video, I'm just going to go over the application, the usage, why we use it, when we use it, how we use it, maybe talk a little bit about some of the misconceptions and why some of the people like fear this type of thing, because definitely 8 years ago, I probably was on the same boat. But before we get into the video, if you guys like the content, don't forget to leave us a thumbs up on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you take this information and actually apply it and get something out of it. It's completely free to watch this and take this information and to use it. The only cost is to take 2 seconds to click that subscribe button and share with a friend that might be a little curious about the prong collar. So German crafted HERM SPRENGER prong collar. You're going to get the dull rounded points. All right. I'll give you guys a little look. They're dull and they're rounded. I've never actually I've never seen a dog break skin. You might look on Google. They'll have some curiosity about it, and they'll look on Google, and the first couple of images is like a dog that has a bunch of punctures. That's not with the proper usage of this tool. That would be like you left the tool on the dog, and the dog grew in it. You can't, like, unless you're an absolute knob, like you can't hurt a dog with this. In any case, why did the guy produce this? The guy produced this to sort of simulate, maybe not so much simulate, a correction from another dog, but just clarity. Just provide clarity to a dog in specific situations where they may not otherwise have clarity. I look at this as like a gift to the dog, because what it does is it provides communication. And like when you guys are able to be like on the same page together, life is better together. So the communication's more clear, and again, that just helps the overall relationship as to what is expected from a dog. But don't sit there and think that I'm saying that in reference to like I just yanked the shit out of this thing. At the end of the day, you're not training right if you have to fucking sit there and continuously. So in another video, which I'll probably produce next, kind of show you, how it is that I use it on the dog. But I just want to, in this video, explain a little bit about the tool itself. Prong collar conditioning. What do I do when I get one? If you were to get one and you had it sent to your house, I just put it on the dog. The only way to take this particular one on and off is to take a link out. So I would just put it on the dog. I would take a link out like that, bring it around, put it on the dog, bring that around. And what this does is, if you put it on the one that it's supposed to go on, the carabiner, if you put the carabiner on the one that it's supposed to go on, what it does is it provides an equal amount of distribution. So if you were to pull, it's providing an even amount of pressure on both sides. And when you pull, it does that. When you let go, you let go. So when you're giving a correction, if you're giving a proper correction, you're just going to go something like, hey, right? And I'm not telling you guys to do this. I'm not telling you guys to put a prong collar on and go, because I think the best and safest bet would be to get with a professional for a session to kind of go through it, because every dog handles pressure differently. Okay, so you don't want to go too heavy right away on some dogs, because that's going to be a detriment. It's going to be a negative association. And if you do this properly, the dog isn't afraid of this ever. As a matter of fact, usually this becomes a symbol of, hey, we're about to actually go somewhere, and the dog will get excited for this. So for everybody out there, prong collar, you're just probably super soy, and you probably just don't understand it. And then the other thing is, to take it a step further, you probably don't want to understand it, because there's a huge narrative against this thing, and there's a big echo chamber. And you guys know the internet and the way people like gravitate towards each other because they want to feel like they're a part of something. Well, there's a massive group of people that really feel like they're a part of something by advocating against these, which to me, it's usually the same kind of person. we won't really get into that. People are allowed to feel and think whatever they think, but I really won't go too far into what I think about those specific individuals, because I was the person that was skeptical about this till I actually started to learn about the proper usage. And I'm not super soy, so I'm not very sensitive to it. You know what I mean? So anyway, Rosie's here. She could be, come here. She could be our little demonstrator. Bring it around. Good girl. You put it on like that. And for me, if this, like Rosie doesn't wear a prong collar anymore, but for me, if this was the first time I put a prong collar on her, I wouldn't just put it straight away on the one that gives a pinch. I would actually, because there's a secondary loop, I would actually take the carabiner and I would put it through both loops. And what that does is that takes the pinch feature away. So now you basically have a flat collar with these little round dull points. I know, we're going. And it takes a little bit of the pop out of it, you know, so it's not so much, too quick, you know. That's a little strategy I like to do there, especially for dogs that may have some sort of like soft temperament or not be able to handle too much pressure. And with some dogs, I never do it any different than that. I always keep it there. Other dogs with harder temperaments, they could handle more. I'll take it off and I'll put it on that singular one there, though. But anyway, good girl, Rosie. Thank you. Okay, up, up. Leave it. Leave it, leave it, leave it. Up. Good. Down. No. Down. Good job. Okay. So anyway, what else about the prong collar? Center divider, you want to make sure that there's an equal amount of links on each side of the center divider. You've got both the loops, the application, the conditioning process. Sometimes people will talk about, you know, putting the, I don't really do it like this. I typically will just kind of put it on and put it on the double loop and, you know, start my specific directional changes and strategy and teaching the dog to follow the pressure, that type of thing. But they'll put the prong collar on the dog and they'll just leave it on there for a day just so they can feel it around their neck. That's cool if you want to do that. I don't typically do that. But yeah, so we're going to get into this. I got a dog right there here for a 3-week board and train. We're going to condition her to this. We're going to teach her to follow the pressure. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel because you may catch the video of me teaching this dog how to walk. This dog's never walked in a heel position in her life. And I think a lot of people out there could probably say the same about their dog. So if you want to catch that video, subscribe to the channel. Let me know in the comments. Hey, that's enough, dude. That's enough. That whining shit doesn't fly. Okay? It's not going to get you what you want. Oh, man. I'm so... I know what some of you are thinking. He's a mean guy. He doesn't let the dog get its way. Peace. Hope you guys enjoy the video. See you at the next one.